Ski-Doo listens to their customers, and we've spoken to engineers. We talked to all these people here at BRP and at Ski-Doo, and they're all just wanting to know, how can I make the best snowmobile for the customer? And the reason that works for them is because they all are the customer.
Gravity doesn't apply to Ski-Doo, and neither do limits. When you live for deep power like we do, there's nothing more satisfying than when that obsession launches you into zero gravity. And it's that obsession, along with restless innovation, savage testing, and our no BS crew of seasoned riders keeping us honest, that goes into Ski-Doo's Gen 5 Deep Snow platform. So sit back, relax, and let's meet the obsessed. When designing for extreme environments like deep snow, Ski-Doo isn't short on expertise, but the most important factor, Philippe will explain, is Mother Nature herself.
I would say, first of all, it's a matter of the playground. You know, the playground, the playground drives you and leads you actually where you want to go. So if you are off-road or off-trail, should I say, and you want freedom and, you know, one knee on the seat, through the hoods, that's freedom, infinite playground. And then the other side, you have the mountain, which is also an infinite playground, but full of adrenaline and challenge. I think it's a matter of challenge in that case.
And to meet that challenge, the Gen 5 Deep Snow platform is built around a mass centralization strategy, bringing engine, driveline, and rider mass closer together for quicker response and balance in deep snow technical terrain. About 3 inches narrower and 16 pounds lighter than before, Gen 5 Deep Snow sleds are about reducing drag, improving agility, and unleashing Team Motion X rear suspension and RAS3 front-end work for control, side hilling, and better terrain adaptability, all to meet the needs of a very specific environment that Matthew from engineering puts nicely.
Yeah, deep snow is like zero gravity, because on deep powder day, everything feels super light. So you're going down the hill and you're just having face shut, you're laughing in your helmet. The snowmobile feels like an extension of your own body. And that's what we're chasing.
Development of the Gen 5 Deep Snow platform is a gauntlet of lab challenges. From strength tests on the chassis and suspension, testing key pressure points to simulate brutal riding conditions, to the medieval-style sledgehammer test that reveals how much punishment a sled can take, pushing A-arms with slow, controlled pressure, shocks undergoing repeating compression. At Ski-Doo, form follows function, which Philip can explain.
Form follows function. It will pass through time, whatever the fashion. So, for example, what it means, if I need to create a grill on the machine or a chimney, I will create it first knowing the heat management, what the hair does, and then I will compose with that and sculpt around that, following the needs of the performance.
Yeah, Gen 5, it's a refinement, it's an evolution. I'm pretty proud of the new model we just launched on 26. I mean, S32, the Twin Link, the shorter tunnel, which was a Ski-Doo first, the coilover. I mean, we're really putting something in place where the sleds are getting super fun to ride, they're reliable, and they are purpose-built for every rider.
Designing a sled is one thing. Testing that sled in an alpine environment is another thing entirely. But of course, Ski-Doo has that covered.
So we've spent a fair amount of time with the engineers. There's a lot of the ambassadors that will ride together, and engineers, you know, they come along or we go together, and they're really looking for any details that will help. You know, if we're struggling, can't do this certain or particular line, they'll be like, okay, let's change this, test it. Did it help? Yes, it did. Let's change this. Let's change that. Oh, that didn't help. Let's not do that. And they really figure out how to get it to be the very best for what we're looking for.
What Carl is describing is the MTC.
So MTC stands for Mountain Technical Committee. So it's a group of mountain specialists that we gather every year. It's a very broad, I would say, list of people. So we have girl, we have dealer, we have pro rider, and we showcase them new project, new feature that we have been working on, and they give us feedback on how our customer would like these new features. They have different opinions, so we debate, and we can really get the best feedback from that committee.
The lab, the mountain, two critical sources of information. The third is the Ski-Doo community itself.
It's a super special crowd because every time you speak to a rider, they have a lot to tell.
Vincent is in charge of product strategy at Ski-Doo, which in practice means he needs to be a sort of sled whisperer. He's often the bridge between the testing and the rabid community of Ski-Doo riders.
Snowmobile is not only happening during winter for them, it's kind of a whole circle around the year where they're preparing at the end of summer, during fall, they're preparing for the next winter. So they're really into it. It's not just a little hobby on the side usually. They're super enthusiastic, and it's something that they live for. So that's makes our job super interesting because people really take the sport as their main passion. So being able to get that feedback and to make sure that we're developing the right product that the customers are looking for.
And that approach, as Carl puts it, is what sets Gen 5 apart.
Gen 5 just seems like a lot more natural progression. You know, it's very, very intuitive. It doesn't take a lot of energy. And we've seen over the years, you know, people's riding times on the mountain are actually a lot longer. Whereas, you know, in the early years, when we were on some of the earlier platforms, you know, people tired out for quicker because it was a lot more effort. So it's just becoming more and more efficient. And the Gen 5 is really a sharp tool.
Insane tests, out-of-the-box solutions, and a community hollering great ideas. This is what forged Gen 5. We sure hope you've enjoyed this peek under the hood. And remember, all of our best ideas come from one question. What is something impossible we can make real?